Thank you very much for being on. All right. So I was reading Matthew chapter 5. I got to chapter 7. Um, Here we go. Let's go to Matthew chapter 8. All right, here we go. All right. How's it going? How's it going? All right, here we go. All right. Let's go to chapter 8. All right, Matthew chapter 8. When he had came down from the mountain, great multitudes followed him, and behold, a leper came and worshipped him, saying, Lord, if you are willing, you can make me clean. So it is actually forbidden to be around anybody with leprosy. All right. You want it to be clean. All right. There was not a antidote for this. If you had leprosy, you're pretty much on your own. So this guy has leprosy and he's like, Lord, can you make me clean? Like, make me clean. Or he says, you can make me clean. He knows that Jesus can make him clean. Then Jesus put out his hand and touched him, saying, I am willing, be cleansed. Immediately his leprosy was cleansed, and Jesus said to him, see that you tell no one, but go your way, show yourself to the priest, and offer the gift that Moses commanded as a testimony to them. All right? So he's like, hey, don't tell nobody that I just healed you. So Jesus is not actually seeking mass attention at the time. All right? He's just pretty much fulfilling prophecy here. Like, all right, cleanse, all right, heal the sick, all right. There we go. Now, when Jesus has entered Capernaum, a centurion came to him, pleading him with him, saying, Lord, my servant is lying at home, paralyzed, dreadfully tormented. So Jesus here is doing miracles. All right. Matthew chapter 8, Jesus doing miracles. We go from the first verse now to verse 5, and he's on his second miracle right off the bat. Lord, my servant is lying at home, paralyzed, dreadfully tormented. And Jesus said to him, I will come and heal him. So, like, hey, I'm going to walk over there to your house and heal him. But the centurion answered and said, Lord, I am not worthy that you should come under my roof, but only speak a word, and my servant will be healed. So, this centurion, he's not he's been watching Jesus work, all right? And he has enough faith to say, like, hey, Jesus, I know that you don't actually have to follow me. I know that whatever you say happens. So Jesus is gonna be like, wow, like you have a lot of faith. And that is true. Jesus, he even commands the winds, the storm. Remember when Jesus was on the boat and they got caught in a storm? He commanded it to stop. So yes, Jesus can speak anything. All right. And right here he's saying, like, hey, you don't. I know you don't have to follow me. Just speak it, and it will happen. I know that for a fact. So that's what happens. Jesus actually speaks it and heals the servant. That is huge, man. That is huge. So Jesus, just like that. Uh, when Jesus heard it, he marveled and said to those who followed, "Surely I say to you, I have not found such great faith, not even in Israel." How's it going? How's it going? Praise the Lord. God bless. Thank you very much for being on. All right. God bless. So Jesus was actually marveled, like, whoa, like you have a lot of faith. All right. And this is like not even his own people. This is a centurion, right? One of the Roman guards, centurion. So he hasn't studied the Bible. He's not studied, he's not educated in the Bible. He didn't go to Torah school. He didn't, study 12 hours a day, you know, all the way like through fifth grade. No, he's just been seeing what Jesus has been doing, and it's like, Jesus, I know enough that you can just command it. That's huge because this is a Gentile, which is what we are. If you're not an Israelite, if you're not a Jewish person, you're a Gentile. That is huge, right? Because he has so much faith that he knows Jesus. All he has to do is speak it, and it'll happen. That's huge. All right, that's huge. Surely I say to you, I have not found such great faith, not even in Israel. I say to you that many will come from the east and the west and sit down with Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and the kingdom of heaven. All right, that's the Jews. Uh, the sons of kingdom will be cast. You see Jacob, and kingdom of heaven, but the sons of the kingdom will be cast out into outer darkness. There will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Then Jesus said to the centurion, "Go your way, and you have believed, so let it be done for you." And this servant was healed the same hour. All right, how's it going? Thank you very much for being on. Yes, Jesus saved us. All right, God bless. So yeah, so Jesus healed just by commanding it. Hey, all right, I'm gonna heal him. Well, actually, the centurion told him, "Hey, I know you don't have to actually follow me to lay hands. I know you don't have to actually lay hands. I know if you just say it, let him be healed. He will be healed because Jesus commands." Now, when Jesus had come into Peter's house, he saw his wife's mother lying sick in a fever. Here goes another miracle. How's it going, guardian angel? Darkness will never be back because my family's up. How's it going? I got guardian angels. Guardian angels. Let's say more. So he touched her hand. So here it goes. Peter's house, he saw his wife's mother lying sick with a fever. So Peter's mother-in-law here. All right, Peter is married. He has a mother-in-law. So he touched her hand, and the fever left her, and she arose and served him just like that. Like, like, hey, mother-in-law, be healed, and she gets healed. All right. When evening had come, they brought to him many who were demon possessed, and he cast out the spirit with a word and healed all who were sick. So Jesus here is healing, healing, healing. He's like healing people as they come. He's casting out spirits with a word. He's literally just speaking it, that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by Isaiah the prophet, saying, "He himself took our infirmities and bore our sickness." Like I said, Jesus is not really trying to find mass attention. At this moment, he's just fulfilling prophecy, fulfilling prophecy. And it says here, he completed the prophecy of Isaiah that says, "He himself took our infirmities and bore our sickness." He was just casting out sickness and infirmities. Here we go. And when Jesus saw great multitudes about him, he gave a command to depart to the other side. Then a certain scribe came and said to him, "Teacher, I will follow you wherever you go." It's like, hey, I want to follow Jesus. And Jesus said to him, "Foxes have holes, birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head." All right. Then another of his disciples said to him, "Lord, let me first go and bury my father." It's like, hey, I want to follow you, but let me go home first and bury my father. But Jesus said to him, "Follow me and let the dead bury their own dead." Now, when he got into the boat, his disciples followed him, and suddenly a great tempest arose of the sea, so that the boat was covered with waves, but he was asleep. So Jesus here is asleep on the boat, and there's a great storm happening. Great tempest arose. Then his disciples came to him and awoke him, saying, "Lord, save us. We are perishing." So Jesus on the boat, and there's this storm going. He's like, "Jesus, like, save us." Like, he's just here asleep. But he said to them, "Why are you fearful? Oh, you little faith." Then he arose and rebuked the winds and the sea, and there was a great calm. So just like that, Jesus spoke it, and a great calm happened. Who can this be that even the winds and the sea obey him? So the disciples, Jesus, 12 disciples, they're saying, "Who can this be? Even that the wind and the sea obey him." So they're still like, man, huh? So it's like, who can this be? Even the winds and the sea obey him. So even his own disciples who have been with him this whole time, they've seen him do miracles, they're still questioning, like, who is this? Like he commands the seas, the winds and the seas. When he had come to the other side, to the country of Gergeses, there met him two demon possessed men coming out of the tombs, exceedingly fierce, so that no one could pass the way. And suddenly they cried out, saying, "What have we to do with you, Jesus, you Son of God? Have you come here to torment us before the time?" Now, a good way off from them, there was a herd of many swine feeding. So the demons begged him, saying, "If you cast us out, permit us to go away in the herd of swine." And he said to them, "Go." So when they had come out, they went into the herd of swine, and suddenly the whole herd of swine ran violently down the steep place into the sea and perished into the water. So they just ran into the water, all right? The swine. So the spirits, the evil spirits, went into the swine, and the swine ran down the hill and perished in the water. Then those who kept them fled, and they went away into the city and told everything, including what had happened to the demon possessed man. And behold, the whole city came out to meet Jesus. And when they saw him, they begged him to depart from their region. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. Matthew chapter 10. Matthew chapter 10. Here we go. And when he had called his 12 disciples to him, he gave them power over unclean spirits. He gave them power over their unclean spirits to cast them out and to heal all kinds of sickness and all kinds of disease. Now, the names of the 12 apostles are these: first, Simon, who is called Peter; Andrew, brother of James, the son of Zebedee; John, his brother; Philip, and Bartholomew; Thomas; Matthew, the tax collector; James, the son of Alphaeus; Lebbaeus, or his surname was Thaddeus; Simon the Canaanite; Judas Iscariot, who also betrayed him. So that's the 12 apostles. These 12 Jesus sent out and commanded them, saying, do not go into the way of the Gentiles, do not enter the city of Samaritans, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So Jesus gives them a mission. Hey, you're going to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Like, hey, do not go to the Gentiles. Do not talk to the Gentiles just yet. We're trying to save our people here. Go into the land of Israel and go to the lost sheep. All right. He says, heal the sick, cleanse the leper, raise the dead, cast out demons. Freely you have received, freely gifts. Provide neither gold nor silver nor copper to your money belts, nor bag for your journey, nor two tunics, nor sandals, nor staffs, for a worker is worthy of his food. So they're going to go pretty much empty handed, and they're going to heal. They're going to cast out demons. Jesus is going to give them the power to do that. Now, whatever city or town you enter, inquire who in it is worthy, and stay there till you go out. And when you go into a household, greet it. If the household is worthy, let your peace come upon it. But if it's not worthy, let your peace return to you. And whoever will receive you nor hear your word, when you depart from the house or the city, shake off the dust from your feet. As surely I say to you, it will be more tolerable of the land of Sodom and Gomorrah than the day of judgment than for that city. So they're pretty much going to go knocking on doors, and if somebody does not accept them, it's going to be even worse for them than the land of Sodom and Gomorrah from the book of Genesis. Remember, fire and brimstone. They're like, hey, if they don't accept you, if they're mean, rude, whatever, just hey, just shake off the dust from your feet and pretty much continue on. So we're trying to find. He's trying to find people that will accept him. Right, the gospel. Behold, I send you out as sheep in the midst of wolves. That's huge. They're going to go out in the midst of wolves. Therefore, be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. So you can't really do anything. It's like, hey, be wise, but be harmless. So you're going to go out into the people, and they're probably going to be mean. They're probably going to be rude. They're probably going to, try to be physical. And it says here, be wise as serpents, but harmless as doves. But beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils and scourge you in their synagogues. Like, hey, they might even take you up to the council. You will be brought before governors and kings for my sake, as a testimony to them and to the Gentiles. But when they deliver you up, do not worry about how or what you should speak, for it will be given to you in that hour what you should speak. So it's like, hey, pretty much stand your ground. All right. Even if they take you up to the council, the governor, the mayor, whoever, and they challenge you, he's pretty much saying, stand your ground and the right words will come to you. For it is not you who speak, but the Spirit of your Father who speaks in you. Now, brother will deliver up brother to death, and a father his child, and the children will rise up against parents and cause them to put to death. And you will be hated by all for my name's sake, but he who endures to the end will be saved. When they persecute you in the city, flee to another. For surely I say to you, you will not have gone through the cities of Israel before the Son of Man comes. All right, I'm gonna leave it at that. Thank you very much for being on. God bless y'all. I'm gonna leave it. All right, it's Matthew chapter